Welcome back. Well, with us once again is a friend of ours who's been on our show over the years several times, Robert Kline. Good
nice
to see you, sir.
Ken, as always.
It's always good to see you. Such a great history. All the different things that you've done in the past with the different film companies and
I was
studios.
head of Fox.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
Created Lifetime Television.
Yep.
Oliver Stone partner over the years.
Wow. Yeah, Lifetime Television. You were there on the cusp of cable.
I started it in 1981.
Yeah, that people don't understand that. Going way back then,
absolutely,
that's incredible.
I was offered two by Leonard Goldenson of ABC, who owned it,
right.
A sports network, or a women's network. Sports I had done early in my career. I was a head football coach before I got into film.
Yeah, wow.
And a women's network, and I thought my mother would like that, and it became Lifetime. So
there you go.
I was a co-founder.
All right. Now, one of your passions is, of course, creating these films on, you've done it on Ronald Reagan, but particularly JFK. And you've done one film that we've shown here before, but you're doing another one that's coming up, and it's going to be shown down at the Regency Theater in San Juan Capistrano. JFK Remembered 100 years later, and that's 100 years after his birth. That's where that
Yes,
comes in.
it is being treated, Ken, as a national holiday.
Yeah.
The post office has a special run of JFK stamps.
Oh, they do?
Yes,
wow.
Very gorgeous. Wow. And most people, when I say we've just completed evolving from the Warner Brothers films that we've done on JFK, JFK Remembered at 100 is that if he had lived on Memorial Weekend, he was born Memorial Weekend, 1917. He would be 100 years this Memorial Weekend.
Very good.
But instead of May 29th, his actual birth date, we are showing at San Juan Regency Theater on Thursday, May 25th. JFK Remembered at 100. We saw him as a young man when he got elected at the age of 43.
Right.
And when he died in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963, he died as a young man.
Yes, he did, yes.
This film deals with his life, his legacy. It has two unique segments in it. One, a tribute over 20 years later when he was president of the United States. Ronald Reagan did a reflection upon the life and legacy of John Kennedy, and it is absolutely a beautiful segment. And at the age of 17, a young man from Arkansas came to the White House with Boys Nation.
Okay.
And his name would be William Jefferson Clinton.
Right.
And the film shows Clinton then reflecting upon that experience, meeting JFK, and then when he was president, what the legacy of JFK meant to him. JFK.
So that's in this film as well?
That's in this film too.
Very nice.
So we have Clinton as president and the 40th president of the United States, Ronald Reagan.
And I know this is a passion of you putting these films together, right? It must. How do you gather all these archival footage from all this? It must take quite a while.
It does. Also, like with Reagan, I called up Mrs. Reagan and said, I want to do a movie on your husband. But I must tell you, honestly, I didn't vote for him either time. And she says, that doesn't matter. We didn't need your vote, Bob. We won in the two biggest landslides in the history of this country. What we want you to do for Ronnie, what you did for JFK, if you do that. I loved JFK. I did everything when he died, like much of America, even those who didn't vote for him.
Right.
It is a day that most people remember where they were.
Right, yeah, I remember.
Where they were.
Yeah.
I know the story. I know the high points. I know that he was the first Catholic president in the history of this country, where ironically, if you go fast forward, Ted Kennedy mentored Barack Obama, who became the first African-American president. I live part-time up in Boston. My wife, who's my co-producer, Stephanie Heredia, she went up. We sat in a screening room at the Kennedy Presidential Library and watched thousands of hours of film.
Now, we want to tell folks that this is, once again, this is down at the Regency Theater. You've done stuff there before in San Juan Capistrano.
Yes, we premiered Ronald Reagan films.
Yes,
we
you
have
did.
done our Princess Grace film,
right.
An American Princess. We did my wife's film, the sequel to The March of the Penguins,
right.
On the Wings of the Penguins. We have done an earlier Kennedy film,
that's right.
An American Journey, from a best-selling book. But this is JFK remembered at 100.
And, you know, we have the information on the screen. So this is Thursday, May 25th at 6:30.
Yeah, but that is from the earlier film.
Yeah.
That's the one your library owns.
Right. Now,
that's not the film we're doing.
Right. You're doing the other one, the 100 Years Later. But we want to mention that
there you go.
That you can call the theater. Calling theaters nowadays don't always you get through that quickly, but go online. The best
if they go online, they can order tickets.
The best way I can tell you, just go Regency Theater, Google Regency Theater, San Juan Capistrano.
It's a beautiful film. It's part of a national celebration.
It is.
It will bring memories, and even those people who are diehard Republicans will be moved by Ronald Reagan's narrative tribute to JFK.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Always thank you for coming on. And check that out. It's going to be on May 25th. Stay with me for a minute. I got to give the weather report. It's a little foggy out there this morning.
Okay.
Right? But, you know, it's going to clear up. We're going to be pretty nice today, about 70 degrees or so. We're going to get warm coming up over the weekend. We're going to be in the mid-80s as we get to Saturday and Sunday. Going to have a little of those Santa Ana winds back. That's just the way it is. But overall, pretty nice weather. I kind of enjoy this fog in the morning. I don't know about you, but I kind of like it.
Are you from the East originally?
No, I'm from the Bay Area. So,
then you're definitely familiar with it.
Exactly. So there we are. We're going to be warming up starting a little tomorrow, but particularly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we get those offshore winds coming in. Around Orange County today, look for an average of about 70 degrees. The beach communities will probably stay right around the mid-60s. They'll be under this fog.
We live in Palm Springs, too.
There you go. I got that right there for you.
86.
There you go. 86 out in Palm Springs just for you today. So that's not too bad for Palm Springs.
No.
No, not too bad. You had it really warm a couple weeks ago. So there you are for the weather. And once again, check out Bob's film, JFK Remembered 100 Years Later, at the Regency Theater, San Juan Capistrano.
And gifts are going to be, Kennedy gifts are going to be given out that night.
Very good. Always good to see you. Thanks a lot, my friend. Thank you. And we will see you tomorrow. Take care.